A bomb destroyer. Everywhere you go, every single home has some kind of damage. If it's not a tree down on it, it's roof torn off, porches torn down.
A very somber day for our friends and neighbors to the west as the state surveys the damage Hurricane Laura left behind. This morning, Laura made landfall in Louisiana just before 1 o'clock. It was the largest hurricane to make landfall in our state in over 100 years. Destruction stretches all the way from the southern coast to the northern border. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm Carly Lang. We're going to get to more coverage on the destruction in the path that came with Hurricane Laura. But first, we're going to get an update of our current forecast right now with Chief Meteorologist Jesse Gunkel. Where is Laura at this time?
Yeah, right now Laura is a tropical storm. It's pushing its way right through Arkansas at this point. When you look at the big picture here, I just want to show you that we're about 90% done with Laura. We're about to chop that tail end off, and as that happens, we're going to kind of limit some of that shower activity. They have dropped us from all watches and warnings, so that's a good sign moving forward. Again, still the possibility that we could see a shower or two tonight throughout the day tomorrow as more may actually flare up as the system drags itself towards the northeast. But again, that is just about it, and we're finally starting to dry out a little bit as we move forward. So as you notice, I just want to point out we still are underneath a slight risk for severe weather across the area, but that's mainly a little bit further east on the other side of I-55.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Well, some of the strongest impacts of Hurricane Laura barreled down in the southern coast of Louisiana and Lake Charles. We're going to go now to Dana Winter for a look at the damage caused by powerful winds in that area.
We're seeing several large pieces of debris on the ground here. This big piece of metal, we're told by a person who works at the hotel, came off of the neighboring hotel and flew all the way over here. Now, that neighboring hotel is what we want you all to actually look at. Take a look over at the hotel next door. We're seeing exposed beams as we look at the corner over there, and also some more debris kind of laying on the ground that came from that hotel. And as we look at the ground here where we're standing right on the side of the Golden Nugget, we're seeing screws. It's one of the things that people from the hotel warned us about as we make our way out here. There are several screws and nails all over the ground, so people need to be careful as they do make their way out to assess the damage. Reporting in Lake Charles, I'm Dana Winter. Back to you.
Well, here at home in Baton Rouge, hotels are serving as a safe haven for thousands of Louisianians who evacuated for Hurricane Laura. Area hotels are slammed packed with people right now who were forced to leave their homes in the wake of the storm. State and local leaders say you won't see people crowded in large shelters like in years past.
We don't have nowhere else to go. Our Lake Charles is gone. Where we live, we ain't got nowhere to go. Then we out here, we don't have no money. I said, Mama, I got $1 on me, and the soda costs $2. I'm a dying Baton Rouge. I can't be here.
Officials are housing evacuees in government-paid hotel rooms instead of large emergency shelters like we're used to seeing because, of course, of this pandemic that's still going on right now. And today, Governor Edwards discussed the impact of Hurricane Laura at GOSEP headquarters. That's where we find NBC Local 33's Abby Roach as she joins us now with the latest from the governor. Abby.
Thanks, Carly. Before Laura made landfall, it was predicted that the damage would be absolutely catastrophic. But the governor said today, we have a lot to be thankful for because it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And now, though 4 people died and thousands are still without power, the silver lining here is that he says the state was more prepared for this than they have ever been.
It is clear that we did not sustain and suffer the absolute catastrophic damage that we thought was likely based on the forecast we had last night. But we have sustained a tremendous amount of damage. We have thousands and thousands of our fellow citizens whose lives are upside down. So we have a lot of work to do, but we're in better shape today than might have been the case.
Now, the governor says today is about saving lives and joining together and lifting up in prayer for the victims of Hurricane Laura. And right now, as we speak, the governor is actually touring that area, and we will keep you updated with any developments that they find on our website at brproud.com. Live at GOSEP, Abby Rocha, NBC Local 33 News.
Abby, thank you. Well, the effects of Hurricane Laura could also be felt here at home. As you can see, crews out working to remove trees from the roadway earlier today. This was the scene this morning on Highland Road between Woodgate and Kenilworth. You can see the tree there is blocking both sides of the road, causing a number of power outages. We are told that tree has since been moved off of the roadway and power has been restored to that area. And over in Scotlandville, a similar scene, a tree toppled by strong winds knocked down a power line. That happened this morning on BLOUNT Road. Now you can see people out there in the area trying to pick up debris and clean up that neighborhood from that collapsed tree. And those downed power lines have caused massive power outages across the state, even here in the capital city. Let's go out now to NBC Local 33's Kennedy Walker. She joins us live where crews are working to get power back on to those without power. Kennedy.
Hey, Carly, this morning Hurricane Laura dropped some heavy rain and there was some strong winds all around, causing damage all around Highland Road. Now, if you follow me this way, I'm going to show you some of the extensive damage that we've seen. This tree has completely collapsed onto this gate. As you can see, it's kind of bent, and this gate is pretty big, and it's basically ruined this gate. Now, the family says that this happened around 8 this morning, and shortly after they lost power. Now, if you take a look over here, you can actually see the down power lines and the crews that are working. They tell me that this morning and throughout the day, thousands of people were without power, but they were able to restore power to most of those people. But unfortunately, they say around 227 people still do not have power. Now, they're hard at work right now, and they say that that power should get restored around 6 o'clock tonight or a little after. For now, reporting from Baton Rouge, Kennedy Walker, NBC Local 33 News.
All right, Kennedy, thank you so much. Well, a search and rescue task force from here in East Baton Rouge Parish is now in Lake Charles tonight to help with Hurricane Laura response. NBC Local 33's Dion Guillory explains what the team is seeing so far.
There's destruction throughout. Buildings, houses, trees, a little bit of any type of destruction you can imagine. We've observed that so far.
Michael Kimball is describing what he and the East Baton Rouge Parish Search and Rescue Team is seeing in Lake Charles. They left Baton Rouge just before 8:30 this morning to help other agencies across the state.
The local authorities, their boots on the ground. They've been on the ground since the event happened. And we're here to assist those guys with special needs of people trapped in structures that's been collapsed and trapped, trees on top of houses, and just doing check wide area searches to make sure that everybody's accounted for.
Pictures from Lake Charles show some of the damage caused by Hurricane Laura. This Coast Guard video shows an aerial view of flooding from the storm between White Lake and Cameron. The East Baton Rouge Parish Search and Rescue Team has helped after other disasters. This group, made up of EMS, firefighters from Baton Rouge, Zachary, and Central, say they are ready for this mission.
And these people go above and beyond and make sure that the tasks are taken care of to provide a service of search and rescue to the state of Louisiana.
Dion Guillory, NBC Local 33 News.
Now, right now, it is still not known how long that task force will be staying in Lake Charles. Well, ahead tonight, we'll have a look at the damage left behind by Hurricane Laura in North Louisiana. That's coming up next right here on NBC Local 33 News at 5.